What is up, everyone? It's the internet's favorite dork, Spirit Gamer Girl, and I'm here with
Storywind.
And today we are going to be doing another GamerTalk video, and in case you've never heard of this series of videos, the basic idea is they'll pick a topic or a series of topics to talk about, and we'll discuss it while playing games. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Yeah, so, an interesting thing is this weekend, we have the quarterfinals for League of Legends that's happening in the NALCS, which is North American League. The champion, as well as whoever comes in second with the most game points, will play in an international conference, international tournament. And then the third one will play a little bit later on. And as of now, there was a minor upset. Victories defeats Cloud9 to move forward to the quarters, and CLG is soon to play Benji. CLG is expected to win that, but hey, you never know what can happen in this type of situation. So that's just the backdrop. But another interesting sport is Overwatch. There is a lot of talk right now about that being used, and Stephen College in Columbia, Missouri has the first all-women's team that's going to compete in an Overwatch conference, and the players can get scholarships for playing, which is really interesting.
I definitely think it's interesting in the sense that it's it's about time that not only that women are included in esports, since it has become and evolved into such a big thing, but that they can benefit not only from getting exposure, but from getting things like scholarships that can go towards getting education, which is also very important, as well as on top of that. But that's a different topic.
Well, and it's also nice that in doing this, they're players just like anybody else, and they get a chance to compete and hopefully compete within, at least on their team, a supportive environment. Unlike some of the challenges that have existed for many years now in esports for women, where there's a lot of things they have to deal with.
Yeah, and I can speak from the standpoint of that even though this isn't a traditional sport, that there are still a lot of girls who, whether it's in traditional sports like soccer or football or tennis or whatever, that face pushbacks just because of their gender, rather than focusing on how skilled they are. Because I know there have been several times where you can clearly see that a female player could be just as good as a male player, or even maybe 10 times better, yet they're not given the acknowledgement that they deserve. And so that's just like with any other sport, that we're definitely trying to break this overall stigma just about how women can't necessarily either handle the same things as men, or they can't do the same things as men.
Yeah, which is usually that type of critique is given by a male. So you have to take that with that grain of salt. Now, as we talk about this, you'll find in the video and probably comments below a reference to some of the articles that we particularly selected to kind of reference. And what's interesting about this is that the women professional athletes, these are the ones who are at the elite level. Talk about how when they play, it's like solo queue. Which solo queue, for those who anyone doesn't know, is where just anyone who just wants to play can play, and they consistently don't like to use the microphone, because as soon as the other players realize it's a woman, they get a lot of pushback because of that. And that's unfortunate, because skill is skill, reaction time is reaction time, and as far as I'm concerned, if I were to be competing in that, I want the best players. I don't care what gender a person is, as long as they can perform their part. And that's unfortunate that some people get really blinded by that.
Going off of that whole thing, if you think about it, if you were put into a situation where you were competing in the top level of whatever sport, whether it's esports or a traditional sport, what would you rather have? Would you rather have if you had to pick between two people, would you rather pick a female who is at the top of their game, who's really experienced, who knows what she's doing, but on top of that also has a good attitude about it and is supportive and can help coach people as well as take critiques themselves? Or would you rather have a male teammate who isn't the most experienced, or maybe he is just as experienced as the girl, but doesn't take critiques well, thinks that he's best player in the world and that he can do everything by himself, and just basically is like a Debbie Downer and doesn't like working with people? Like, who would you pick?
Yeah, I mean, for me, actually, I think that's I just want the best player. You know, the player who, like you said, has a good attitude with the environment and is open to that. You know, it's about, we talk about chemistry, team chemistry. It really is about personality and what people bring to your support. So those are important things.
And also, going off of that as well, there's also this other example. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have, not having anything to do with gender, but would you rather have someone who maybe isn't the best at the sport or the game or whatever, who struggles a lot with learning how to play it, but has a very good outlook on it, who's supportive and encourages other teammates, as well as giving feedback to people and keeping the morale of the team up? Or would you have someone who's really good at what they do, who constantly wins, and whatever team they're put on always wins, but has a terrible attitude, is constantly picking fights with other people, whether it be on the team or off the team, who's constantly arguing about like being as good as them, or just different, like basically overall just being negative and bringing and not really focusing on the team as a whole?
Yeah, I think you make the point right there. And so that, I know that some people, our viewers, are thinking, well, wait a second. Yeah, that makes sense. But you know, in the online gaming world, if people are always putting people down. It doesn't really matter about gender that's happening. And you know, there is that, and that's unfortunate that there's stuff regardless of gender, that there's people who spam, who troll, who just are sore losers. In that regard, yet it's disproportionate that, you know, so the triggers, we all kind of act based upon our own experiences, and if we haven't experienced a lot of pushback because of who we are, you know, that gets in the way, then we just don't understand what other people do.
For me, I guess, in a sense, because I've been a gamer for quite a while, and for the longest time, I played World of Warcraft, and that was like pretty much the only game I played. Like, there was other games, but that was like the game I really liked, and I still really like it. I haven't necessarily experienced a whole lot of pushback because I don't really play online a whole lot when it comes to video games. I mainly like play with myself or with my dad, and so,
you know, for example, there's a pro player for StarCraft 2. Her name is Caitlin, and you know, professional player Caitlin, and she talked about how she loves CS:GO. Like, she played that was her second favorite game after StarCraft. But when she do a mission and you really need a microphone so you can communicate and really move through missions, she would get a lot of pushback. Or even just the name Caitlin, you know, is that a female? And you know, anytime you get these side distractors, that's a real problem. As well as you think about like girls or anyone who's trying to start to play casually, I think can create issues as far as, or be confronted by issues by people who spam and then use their gender as a reason to critique, which is, you know, they wouldn't say it to their face, but in the anonymous world of the internet, they feel empowered and emboldened to be a troll. But you know, I don't know if you remember Minecraft. Yeah, when you were younger and you played Minecraft on those servers, I gotta tell you, it was really hard, like, to read the stuff that people were saying to you, as well as the movements they did with their avatars, which was completely inappropriate.
For anyone who's played Minecraft before, or even is still playing Minecraft, you might have a idea as to what we're talking about. The whole point of it was I was minding my own business, and this person, whoever it was, their avatar came up to me, and at first it was just them simply following me around, which even that I was more so just annoyed and was really confused what they were doing. So it quickly got to a point where they were starting to talk to me, and I don't even remember what they said, but it was more so just how they used their characters to... Long story short, it was just a form of harassment that I think up until that point I had never experienced online or at all, and so I think at that age I didn't fully understand it. I just knew that whatever this person's intentions were, it wasn't good. So there's a lot of that particularly in this area and genre of just gaming or whatever, that I think a lot of females can say they've experienced, whether it's something small or something a lot bigger. And so I think that's another important thing that I think a lot of even just gamers in general, they think, oh, it's a female gamer, she's just one of those people that acts like it, and several other things about being a gamer but being female that is really quite unfair, that just because doesn't mean that you have to treat us differently or give us any special treatment.
Yeah, in a way, just a thing to prove that point that you're making is, there's a team, CSGO team, an all-women's team that part of Team Dignitas, which, I follow a lot of League of Legends, and Team Dignitas, as I mentioned, they just moved forward in the League of Legends tournament, upsetting Cloud9, and they have a CSGO team, comprised of 6 women who have won tournaments, have crushed other opposition. They are a professional team that gets a lot of support now. They had a hard road to get there, but they proved the point that it's talent that matters, and as soon as people, other who are trolls or who maybe they're not trolls, they just genuinely have to struggle with adapting to this new world where respect for women and their skills, respect for players and their skills, regardless of who they are. Once if they get over that hub, we'll have far more competitive teams. There's just such a talent pool that's not yet tapped.
Once, kind of to shorten that answer a little bit, is that I think once they get over their ignorance and see that there are many different career choices that people can go down, and a lot of those that are male dominated doesn't mean that a girl can't dominate in it as well. And I think that for some people, especially maybe hard-headed male players, it's hard for them to swallow that and to understand that just because we're girls doesn't mean, 1, that we don't like gaming or don't like to game, 2, that we're soft and fragile.
Yeah, those are really important. And just kind of a segue, there are now tournaments that are coming out that are gender specific. Tournaments, for example, that are all women. The advocates have said, this is a great stepping stone because it allows women to develop and hone their skills without the trolling and bullying that happens, because everyone who's there to compete are there to know what they're doing. Critics will say, it's not the same level, but every place has a development level, and if this allows the space to be able to develop without dealing with all the toxicity that is so intense, why not? Pro players emphasize they want to compete in sports with men.
Because it's definitely a great step towards, it's definitely a great step towards inclusiveness when it comes to this sport, but at the same time, I think once the gaming industry can see and fully understand that women gamers are here to stay and they're here to play, they'll see that there's a whole other untapped market that businesses can get into that would also, especially in this day and age, could be a huge success, whether it become bigger than just the overall industry or it become just as successful as the male-dominated industry, which is something that would be nice to hear about more of.
Well, this has been a great session.
With that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, then let me know by commenting down below, just so that lets me know that you guys enjoyed this video. And like this video as well.
We already have the likes, but we'll take the comments too.
We'll take either.
Like it.
And also, if you do like this video or any of my other videos, as well as any of the videos that I've done with my dad, then make sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking the little red button to subscribe, as well as you can subscribe to my dad's channel, which I will leave a link to that down below, and all my social medias and links and, you know, the normal YouTuber stuff that people do. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you did. Hopefully you took away something from this. And I will see you guys in the next video, and maybe you'll see my dad again. Okay, well, that being said, this dork is out.
And so am I. Thank you.